Good day all, Esther from Creative Fairy Designs. Thank you very much for joining me today. For today's episode, we are going to be making journal toppers, 4 different journal toppers. And this is one that I have already made for our autumn journal that we decoupage. And this is a journal topper. This is another one with a botanical theme. And of course, this is a vintage one with a vintage feminine lady, postage stamp, and key charm. And for our last one, we have a wildflower with a frame and a wax seal. These are the 2 pages we are going to be using for today's episode. We are going to be using this printable and we're going to be using this printable. We are going to be making 4 toppers, one with a wildflower, one with this botanical image, one with an autumn image, one with a Victorian lady, and these are the embellishments that we are going to add on them. So for the first one we're going to be using, I'm going to make a topper for this autumn journal. I have decoupaged this, but I'm just going to put the topper in the center. And these are the images I'm going to be using for the autumn topper. This autumn pumpkin. This butterfly. I'm just going to fussy cut this butterfly. And before sticking my items, I like to layer how I would like my journal topper to look first. And this is the image that is going on top of our journal topper. And I like to put a doily to the side, maybe the butterfly corner here, one of the autumn leaves, another one of the autumn leaf to the bottom here. Oh, before I put the autumn leaf. And this is a piece of burlap decoration that I will place at the edge here. And this is another autumn leaf that will go right above. I think I have room to maybe add one more item. Now I will just stick everything together. I'm using a Fabitac. In fact, I will just fold the doily and use half of the doily. We can use the other half for another project because only half will. Autumn leaf. Now I'm just going to stick the image down. And to the edge, I'm going to add the burlap decoration. And this is why I use the Fabitac, because its thread was place another autumn leaf on top. Right to the edge, just to give it some texture and dimension. And over here, I have some, just from my scraps, some scriptive writing. Just add it to the edge there. And I think I'm happy with that. I like how that looks. And for our next journal topper, we are going to be making it a neutral theme. And for this journal topper, I like to match with the neutral theme. We're going to use this photo frame and this postage stamp. So I'm just going to cut it out. And these are the images we're going to be using. Now I'm just going to do some layering of this. And now we're going to layer this. And for this, I've used a piece of fabric. This is what I have. I like the contrast with the old and the pink around. I think it makes a nice contrast. And I'm going to attach this with Fabitac because it's fabric to paper. You can use tacky glue or whatever you have at hand that will stick the paper to fabric right in the center. Next, I'm going to layer a piece of twill, white twill. I'm just going to fold it into a thin strip. Attach it on top. Of course, you know, junk journal is about interest, so that's what we're doing, adding and building interest. And now I have these tiny white pearl hearts. I'm going to add this right on top of the twill. Okay, and now we're going to add a tad piece of lace, crochet lace. At the edge of the photo. Next, we're going to add our frame to the side here. And in the frame, you can write anything you wish when you're ready to use this topper. Next, I'm going to add the postage stamp to the edge here. So we are just building our layers of interest to enhance this lovely, elegant photo of this vintage lady. We're going to add another piece of lace. Right on top. And for the last, I just want to add this paper clip with this vintage key. Right to the side, just like that. And I think this is enough. Of course, you can go ahead and add more elements if you wish. Next topper, we are going to use this image, and this image is perfect for a wildflower theme journal. So I am going to use this. And this image. And the dragonfly. And for this one, we're just going to be using, this is just a scrap that I had. It came from an old label, a box. It came with the tag attachment. I just attached a piece of fabric to make it into like a tag topper. Now I'm just going to stick the image. Place the dragonfly at the end. And this is a floral frame. You know, layering makes your images or your work or anything, it just looks awesome. And then I'm just going to add this tiny foam butterfly that I had. Just use what you... And that's it. I would like to keep it simple. And now we're moving on to this one. I'm using this piece of a fabric to use for the backing, and this is the image I'm using. I just use a scissor, so if you don't have a scissor, just zigzag around the edge. And now I'm using a blacking pen just to do almost like... And now we're just going to use the fabric tack and attach the image to our fabric. And I just want to attach this strip of lace. The colors match nicely with the background. And I'm just attaching this to the edge. It's a wax seal. And in the corner, I'm going to attach this photo frame with another wildflower. And then I'll just add another piece of lace right at the edge there. And I think that's it. I like how it looks, and I'm going to stop right there. And these are the 4 journal toppers that we have made so far. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching.